Hello, Prairie Ridge Elementary. My name is Ryan Konen, and I am an electrical design engineer. And I'm also a parent to two children there at Prairie Ridge Elementary, Delaney Konen and Kinsley Konen. So, I want to talk a little bit about my career and what I do on a daily basis. So on a daily basis, I am designing electronics for Pivot International, and I'm also designing electronics for a business that I have here as well called True Motorsports. And so let's talk a little bit about some of the things I do on a daily basis. So on a daily basis, I'm taking designs from either a client that comes to us at Pivot International with an idea, and I'm helping take that idea and transforming it into an actual product. And in doing that, I'm operating with tools like Altium Designer, where I take and design the circuits that are going to go on an actual circuit board. And then I go and show this to the client and get their approval. We talk about, hey, how is this going to work? How do they want it to function? And make sure that I'm making it function the way that they want it to. So as you can see on these tools here, Altium Designer, you can do some awesome things. You can lay out the circuit board here. You got to do some routing of the traces. You got to spec out what components are going to be used. And then you also can show a 3D model to the client and show them the products that they're actually going to be able to use and actually be able to fit that into the physical mold or model that they're actually doing. So I also want to talk a little bit about True Motorsports. So I operate True Motorsports out of my home here, where I design electronics for drag race cars. First product that I make is a transmission controller for drag racing. Usually when the cars are lining up at the drag strip, they need something to help control the transmission to move them forward, to line up and get staged appropriately. That's one of my products called the Smooth Stage, and that's made for just about any kind of race car. So along that lines, I've also branched off into other areas. And in those other areas, I started controlling more of the fuel control for the engine. One of the products that I recently announced was a product called the Voodoo Booster. Now what the Voodoo Booster does is your normal 12 to 14 volts that's driving your fuel pump. I take that 14 volts and I boost that up to 18 volts to run a fuel pump faster. Because some of these race cars, they're making 1,000, 2,000, even 3,000 horsepower, and it demands a lot of fuel to the engine to make that kind of horsepower. So in addition to doing, some kind of cool stuff with drag racing, it's also kind of fun to kind of tinker with it here at home. And one of the things we did during the recent pandemic is I wanted to teach my children a little bit about electronics and some of the cool things you can invent and do. So we had a little fun. We want to make some things faster here at our household. So check out this video that we made this summer. Here at the True Motorsports household, we decided to introduce the kids to shop class to fill that extra time. What we decided to do is we decided to take our Power Wheels and our new Voodoo Booster and put them together to make the ultimate drag racing Power Wheels. All right, so we got to come up with a name for the Power Wheels and Voodoo Booster project. Every great race car has a name. What do you think? What do you think it should be?
Sleeping Queens.
Sleeping Queen, okay, all right. What do you think? What do you think the name should be?
Shadow Booster.
Shadow Booster, okay. All right, what do you think the name should be?
Boosted Unicorn.
Boosted Unicorn.
I like it.
Do you like it?
I like that.
Okay, all right. All right, we're gonna go with Boosted Unicorn. All right, let's go get to work. Okay, initial test run. Let's light it up. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed that video where we took our Power Wheels and boosted the voltage to make it run faster and created our boosted unicorn Power Wheels. So one of the things I did when I was younger that got me interested in electronics is I had radio controlled cars, and I always wanted to make them go faster, or I wanted to figure out how they worked. Those are some of the key characteristics that an electronic designer or electrical engineer is that's one of the traits that a lot of people have that want to go into engineering. I didn't really know that I wanted to go into engineering until after I actually was in the workforce. I knew I liked electronics, but I didn't know exactly what kind of career I wanted to go after. And so I went to a technical college and I got a 2-year degree as an electronic technician. And that got me a job where I could work on electronics. So as the electronics are being built or when they come back, when they're broken, I can use my electronic technician degree to actually repair, troubleshoot, figure out what's wrong with them. But as I was doing that in my career, I wanted to know a little bit more about how this product was designed. What made the engineers make the decision they did to make the design? And so with that, I went to school at UMKC and got my electrical and computer engineering degree, which allowed me to design electronics. Some of the classes that you probably need to be good at for this kind of a degree is you need to have a good understanding of math. Math is extremely important. I use math on a daily basis. Excel, I'm always making calculations and making sure that the electronics that I design are going to operate well. Also some basic understanding of physics, and also what is a key element in some of the areas of electrical engineering is being able to communicate. You're going to have different areas of engineering that are all working together. You have mechanical engineering, you have software engineering, electrical engineering, and even project management that are all coming together to actually make a product. So being able to communicate effectively amongst that group to actually find a solution is very important key characteristic. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like to tinker with electronics or technology in general, electrical engineering, electronics, it's a great career path.